If you look at it from a grander scale and not just the loss, and the Eagles fans are emotional, and we know they're gonna like react one way or the other. If it's a win, they're on a high. If they lose, they're on a low. But if you look at it from a grander scale, you're checking off all the boxes. Okay, first game of the season at home. All right, check the box. Not too big for Carson Wentz. First road game. Oh, by the way, on Monday Night Football, how do you perform? Check the box. All right. Against a team that you're supposed to lose to. That you're supposed
Super
to get
Bowl contender.
A Super Bowl contender, somebody you're supposed to get smoked by, check the box. And now coming off a bye, road game, coming from behind, we have like half a check. If a check is 2 strokes, we have a half. So, you know, maybe I'm being overly positive about it, but yes, they're 3-1. To me, they're like 3.5 to 0.5.
But when you have like to lose against a team that we could really learn from, what do we learn except step your game up, guys? You can't be playing like that. Like, honestly.
Well, you learned a lot. Again,
Like
you have a
what?
rookie quarterback who just learned that maybe I shouldn't throw it to Nelson Aguilar when he's going against a Pro Bowl corner. Because as of right now, how many shots has he taken downfield to Nelson Aguilar? Not a lot. So learning experience. Maybe I don't have the personnel that some other teams have. Maybe that's not a shot I want to take. There's a lot that despite even in a loss,
right.
sometimes you learn more in a loss than you ever will in a win. Because I don't
Oh,
know how much
agree.
I don't know what they learned against that Pittsburgh win. I don't know what they learned in that game. That was one-sided game. I'll guarantee they took more out of this loss than they did out of any of the previous wins.
And joining us in studio, my man, you know him from Twitter as Classic Jeff. Classic Jeff, fresh off of his trip to Detroit, right? He was
The
there
Motor City.
at the game.
Motor
You saw
City
the
was
whole
beautiful.
thing. Now, you might have seen it through, like, beer goggles or blurry eyes. I know you're on that.
Couple bottles of scotch. You know how I do it.
Absolutely. We wanted the report of what the vibe was inside the stadium. Were Detroit fans thinking they were going to win that game? Were they surprised to be winning, and did they think they were going to blow it in the end? How was kind of the vibe there in Detroit?
I'll tell you, you just stole all of my thunder, so I don't need to be here anymore. No, seriously, it's exactly as you just said. They were pretty surprised to be up on us pretty early. I think everyone was looking around. They were shocked. Eagles fans were shocked. There was a huge Eagles contingent that attended the game, so that was great to see. There were a lot of empty seats up in Detroit, so that was a little bit disappointing, and they had a pretty good sound system, which I think kept the crowd pretty amped up. The people that I talked to around the stadium that were sitting next to me said, hey, it's a rebuilding year. They don't think they're going to be anything for the next couple of years. I think they had an expectation of blowing that game at the end when we were getting the ball back.
Nice. Well, we're going to go ahead and run into our first caller. You are on the line with 4th and Jawn. What is up? Casey from Colorado. Casey, are you
on?
Yeah, man. What's happening? You're on with 4th and Jawn.
Oh, just kicking it out in Colorado, man. Trying to keep up with all the Eagles fans out there, you know.
I bet you
Not
are
too
kicking it
many
in
out this
Colorado.
way.
Very nice. So now that you've had kind of, you know, the overreaction Monday to digest this whole thing, yeah, exactly.
Exactly right.
Hey, Colorado. Now that you've had the day to digest it, along with the munchies that you're going to be eating later because of the activities that
That's
happen.
right.
Yeah, he knows it. What are your thoughts on the game? How hard are you still taking this? How hard are you still taking this loss?
Well, just to kind of reflect off what you guys were saying, you know, like there was adjustments that needed to be made. I mean, if you look at the penalty side of things, we had 14 for 111 yards.
Yeah.
And they had 2 for 18.
Yeah. No.
2 for 18 yards. And 5 of those penalties ended in 5 of the 21 first downs that Detroit had were off of our penalties.
And I
So
hate.
we quit. I mean, yeah, and we can bicker back and forth all day on whether we got screwed on some of them or not. But at the end of the day, you know, that's a game changer right there.
And I've been trying so
you know,
hard not to be the guy to, like, ref blame. You know what I mean? Because I can't stand when other fan bases... Like, let's flip the script for a second,
Like
all
the
right?
Cowboys.
Let's say the Cowboys were playing the Lions, right? And it was a tight game. And Zeke fumbles the ball, and then Dak throws it long to Dez and it gets intercepted. If we were listening to the Cowboys fans, just blame the ref. Listen, the refs did not put the Eagles in a position where they were on their heels on defense in the first half. The refs didn't put them in a position where Ryan Matthews fumbled the ball. The refs didn't put him in the position where at the end of the game he threw the interception. So the penalties are going to happen. I'll give it to you. A lot of them were just bullshit. All right? I'm 5'6". As I stand up here, I'm Darren Sproles size, all right?
Do you want me to be the offensive lineman?
Wants to get chopped.
If Jason Ashworth, who's how tall are you?
There we go,
6'2".
right here.
Jason Ashworth is 6'2". If he's the defensive linebacker, right?
We have
and I
Chef
try to
over
block
here
him.
that's like 6'10".
Yeah,
Yeah,
why didn't we go with him?
Chances
are,
are,
mismatch.
I think I'm about the same size as the
if
lineman.
if I try to block this man right now, he's going to catch a helmet to the dick. It's going to happen, and that doesn't mean that it's
That's a chop block. Apparently, that's a chop block
Apparently,
now.
that's a chop. Brooks is driving a man
Apparently.
downfield with his
that was
arms
the
in
worst.
between the shoulder
was the
pads.
worst.
Apparently, if you're getting the shit blocked out of you, you can just wave your hands and go, help me, and the refs are going to throw a flag.
And this isn't a one-time
ridiculous.
occurrence either. It's actually, they were talking about this crew prior to the game, just kind of alerting folks that, hey, watch this crew because they're a little nutty. And I mean, the NFL needs to take a look at them because there were a couple. I mean, they throw a flag on a defensive for a illegal man downfield? Right on that Jordan when Carson Wentz rolled out.
Barwin, right? Yeah.
Right, so they called it on Barwin,
yeah.
illegal man down. Wait, how do you throw a penalty and you don't even know who's on offense?
How do you not explain
How
to
does
the
that
crowd
happen?
what
And then not
happened
even
afterwards?
explain it.
Nobody in the
Not even-
stadium
We're
knew
gonna
what was
review
going
a
on.
play that should be nullified because I threw a flag on an illegal man downfield. I'm confused as all hell.
We're going to keep the phone calls rolling. We got my man Daryl from D.C. who was also hanging out with us at Xfinity Live. Daryl, what's happening, buddy?
Daryl.
Family, how y'all doing tonight?
We're hanging in there, man. You were with us. You were feeling the emotion the entire game with us, the highs, the lows, and ultimately the heartbreaker at the end. Now that it's Tuesday, talk to me, my man. We're ready to Dr. Phil you. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm ready to get these deadskins out my way. Like, they win one game against the daggone Ravens, and now they're going to the Super Bowl. Kiss my ass.
Is that the vibe down
you
in
win
D.C.?
one game, you lost, you beat the Browns on a technicality because the referee couldn't see the daggone fumble. Man, listen, we weren't going 16-0. We had to lose 1, 2, however many games. Trust the process. It's growing pains. We're going to lose games. Carson's going to throw interceptions. Just like Aaron Rodgers said a couple of years ago, relax. It's going to happen. Let's just move on. Let's go to FedEx Field and beat the dog crap out of these stupid Redskin fans and send their asses home crying.
Yeah,
Simple as that.
and that's
all
how
it is.
that's how you have to respond, because we just talked about checking boxes, right? We went through all the scenarios of checking boxes. This is another box to check. This is like a double header box. A, how do you respond to a loss? B, now you're playing in the NFC East. Now shit counts. Now it's fucking real. All right? You have to win these games. You can't drop the 3-2. Guys, we're all sitting here going, hey, it happens. Oh, Ryan, man, he's a professional. But if they go to 3-2 and drop one in the division, all of a sudden we're having a completely different conversation, right?
Absolutely.
Look, and again, I don't want to piss on everyone's parade and everything, but it just boils back down to, I don't know, who do we think this team is? I mean, I don't know. For me personally, I'm still trying to figure out who they are.
Next up, we're going to go to our man. I hope he's gassed up. I hope he brings the fire like he always brings it, but chances are Zomp's taking this loss a little hard. Zompster, how you doing, baby? How you feeling?
Listen, cut the music tonight. There's no Zompster, there's no COO, there's no game. It's a pissed off Eagles fan tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let it rip, Zomp.
with
Let's
you.
hear it.
All right, just give me a second to vent because I unfortunately live in New York City and I don't have how do you say it? The time or place or anybody over here to talk to Eagles fans. So let me just say what's on my mind, and you guys could tell me. if I'm right
Let
or
it
wrong.
out. We're gonna be
I'm
your
just gonna give-
therapist, man. Get comfy on the couch. Get a
get
box
some
of
sad
tissues if
piano
you need.
music,
Yeah,
maybe?
exactly, man. Let it out. Go for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. All right. So listen, in my honest opinion, I've heard it all that a lot of people want to say, listen, the officiating was bad. Agreed. Too many penalties. Agreed. The first half of the defense played. What was that? It looked like Billy Davis's defense. Agreed. There's a lot of people that really, in my opinion, didn't say what I thought was the problem on Sunday. And I'm going to be a little harsh, and I know people are going to say, Zombie, you're exaggerating, but this is, like I said, my opinion. I'm going to put the blame, when I look at everything, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons. I'm going to put the blame on Doug Peterson. And let me just say it first. The first 3 games, he's been absolutely outstanding. He's been aggressive, loved the play calling, loved going on 4th down, has showed the confidence in the offense. Agreed, 100%. But now I'm gonna give a little little poke on him for 3 reasons. Number 1, the Nigel Bradham situation. I don't buy it any one bit about the rotating of the linebackers. The first 3 games, Bradham was playing. Kendricks, his snap count was low. It was mostly him, Tulloch, and Hicks. They were disciplining him. Regardless what they say, I'm not buying it. And he made a huge difference in the second half. And you got to hurt the player, not the team. You want to discipline your players, you hit them where it hurts,
Yeah, but
that's in their pocket.
Zomp, and we'll let you continue in a second. Let's say they came out and said it was a
Disciplinary?
disciplinary.
I'm here for you.
Thanks.
You can sit on my couch now.
Yeah, thanks for the layup. For the assist, rather. Let's say it was that. Wouldn't the Eagles be completely justified in that? You can't punish the player unless you're like, listen, you hit him 2 ways. You hit him with playing time, or you hit him in the pocket. You know what I mean? Isn't it right for Jim Schwartz to kind of set a precedence? Like, listen, dumbass, if you're going to do dumbass things and be a dumbass, you're going to sit the bench for the first half. Isn't that at least appropriate?
Agreed. But my mentality is I want to win. So whatever it takes. I understand it's justified, yes. But when you have a guy like Michael Kendricks, who is not a good player, and I've been saying this since last year, he is not a good football player, that you cannot look at. It was such a coincidence that second half we looked like the defense that was playing the first 3 games. I understand it, but there's other ways around it, and I think he dropped the ball on that one. The second one, you guys took my thunder a little bit regarding Barner and Smallwood, and that has to do with Doug Peterson. These guys, every time they're called upon, are gashing runs, always something positive when the ball's in Barner's hands and Smallwood's hands. It is unexplainable why they get 0 snaps in this game.
What's the third
and
one?
final reason, and I'll let you go because I know I'm holding up time. Third and final reason, in my opinion, and I'm going to get bashed for this, but it's like I said, my opinion. 3rd and 3, 2.5 minutes left. Everybody wants to kill Ryan Matthews. He's a professional football player. He fumbled the ball. It's on him. My opinion, who is the guy that called Ryan Matthews' number? Doug Peterson. 3rd and 3, 2.5 minutes left. Conservative play calling. Andy Reid-esque call.